This morning, we are separating fact from fiction surrounding coronavirus claims, and we want to clear up any confusion you might have. Also this morning, the Senate will be voting in hopes to pass a massive stimulus package to fight the economic fallout from the coronavirus outbreak. Thank you for joining us this morning on Up with KREM. I'm Joshua Robinson, and today we want to continue practicing social distancing here at KREM. The rest of our anchor team will join us live from their homes throughout the morning. Of course, we do want to begin with the latest look at COVID-19's impact across the inland Northwest. The first case of coronavirus in Whitman County has been confirmed. Whitman County health officials confirmed the case yesterday, and that patient is a woman in her 20s. Right now, she is recovering in self-isolation. Meanwhile, in Spokane County, 20 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed. Health officials tell us that they are working closely to identify people who have come into contact with anyone who's infected. Looking statewide, the Washington Department of Health now reports more than 1,900 confirmed cases this morning. 95 people have died statewide. More than 1,000 confirmed cases and 75 deaths have happened in King County. And 480 confirmed cases have been reported out of Snohomish County. That includes 10 deaths. Meanwhile, in Everett, the mayor has issued a directive for all residents to stay home. Looking now at North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District has confirmed there are 3 cases of COVID-19 in Kootenai County. That brings the total number of confirmed cases in Idaho to 47. Meanwhile, in Grant County, there are 18 confirmed cases of COVID-19, including 1 death. Grant County has issued a shelter-in-place order for high-risk coronavirus patients. That includes 60-year-olds or older and residents with underlying health conditions. Everyone else is urged to practice strict social distancing. Also this morning, we have 3 things that you need to know about COVID-19. Today, the Senate plans to start another effort to reach bipartisan agreement on a stimulus package that's worth more than $1 trillion. That bill would soften the economic blow of the coronavirus crisis. Now, it did not pass its first attempt at a vote yesterday, with Senate Democrats saying the plan does not do enough for small businesses and hospitals. Democratic Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the measure includes, quote, a large corporate bailout, virtually no protections for workers, and no oversight. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the plan is meant to prop up the nation's economy for the next 3 months. Second, the floor of the New York Stock Exchange is set to temporarily shut down starting this morning. Financial markets in general will stay open and trading will take place electronically. This decision comes after 2 workers tested positive for COVID-19 last week. Right now, there's no word on when the trading floor will reopen. And third, this morning there are 3 new meal sites for student grab-and-go meals that are offered through Spokane Public School District. Audubon, Bemis, and Cooper Elementary Schools have been added to the list. Students must be present to pick up their meals, and it's for any child up to the age of 18 or students that are enrolled in high school. Meals will be served from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. today through Friday, and they include breakfast and lunch. Now, for the whole list of meal pickup locations, all you have to do is text the word lunch to our text line 509-448-2000, and we will send you that list. You can also get the full list right now by visiting krem.com or checking out our KREM 2 mobile app. And of course, we will continue with more coverage throughout the morning. But first, we want to take a quick check outside, which means it's time for Evan Nurani to join us. He's actually joining us live from home, as so many of you are, to tell us the latest about what this morning's forecast is shaping up to be. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning, Joshua. I mean, look at that downtown, or this is Coeur d'Alene. Look at that Coeur d'Alene shot. Beautiful to start off the morning. Mix of sun and clouds today. I mean, you can't ask for a better sunrise, but we are going to see the chance of showers kind of creep in today. That's the problem on hand, is that we've got a potential about 40 to 60% chance for wet weather throughout the course of mainly the first half of the week and then appearing again for the weekend. Right now on satellite radar, still relatively light as far as activity goes. We're seeing a couple rain showers through central Washington and through the central and southern panhandle. The next 12 hours holds good potential to see mostly cloudy skies or a mix of sun and clouds. Showers don't look to appear until tonight. Around 6 p.m. you can see how that rain symbol appears, but still pretty mild for the most part. It'll probably come down as a little bit of a drizzle. Temperatures are going to warm up to the lower 50s today, 51 for Spokane. Notice though that there is quite a breeze that sticks around with us, and that's down on the lower portion of your screen closer to the time there. Southwesterly winds in the teens and moving up toward 20 miles per per hour. The gusts are where we see a concern, 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts involved, but this isn't going to be particularly dramatic. It will just kind of be that breeze that sticks around with us for the majority of the work week. So a little bit of a different weather pattern than what we saw last week, but still a good chance to maybe get outside, get some vitamin D, get some fresh air, and practice that safe social distancing. I'll send things over to Jen York, who's also anchoring from home. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Evan. I know, it's been so long. I think this is the longest we've been without seeing each other in person.
I know, it's sad to see, but we are speaking
this morning, I know
through the
Evan was
TV, and it's nice to see you this morning.
You too. You know, you're talking about getting outside and practicing safe social distancing. We do want to let people know this morning there are some issues with campgrounds here in Washington. All Washington State campgrounds now will be closed through April 30th. This has helped to fight the spread of the coronavirus. And the closure also includes accommodations like cabins and yurts. So day use areas and trails will remain open, but water access areas will also stay open for fishing. But Washington State Parks is actually asking people to avoid visiting beaches, they say, due to an increase of people there. The state also wants to remind everyone to continue to practice social distancing and good hygiene when outdoors. I know we saw over the weekend, particularly on the west side, Rattlesnake Ridge, we saw a lot of people looking to get outside, but the area was just so packed with people, and that prompted some stirred words from the governor and the Washington State Emergency Management saying if you are going to be outside, just practice safe distancing away from other people. Now today, patients no longer will need a doctor's referral to get tested for COVID-19 at Spokane's drive-through screening clinic. Healthcare providers actually loosened the screening parameters this weekend to include symptomatic high-risk individuals. Now that screening center is at the Spokane County Fairgrounds. It's open daily from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now this change in the rules is meant for people who are not able to get tested but are experiencing COVID-like symptoms. The Spokane Regional Health District is still advising that people speak to a healthcare provider via phone or virtual visit before going to that drive-through clinic. Now, starting today, Fred Meyer will hold senior hours at all of its locations from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's when the store is reserved for those most at risk from coronavirus. Senior hours will happen Mondays through Thursday, and that will be until further notice. On those days, shopping for all other customers will begin at 8 a.m. Store leaders are asking customers to honor the reserved hours to help those most vulnerable get the groceries they need. And stores including Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, Rose Hours, and Costco are also implementing specialized hours for those vulnerable populations. Well, this morning, Amazon's Prime Pantry delivery service is temporarily closed. The service gives Amazon Prime members access to discounted grocery and household items. A surge in orders tied to the coronavirus outbreak has reportedly caused the service to just be overwhelmed. So this morning you can see a notice on the top of the Primary Pantry website saying the company is busy restocking. Amazon has not revealed when the pantry will be back open, but people can still shop for household staples and other essentials through Amazon. Now that's a look at your morning rush this morning. A lot of that impacting us working from home this morning, much like us here at KREM too. Joshua, we'll send it back to you in the studio. I know you're by yourself out there, so I feel for you. We are here at home. We're going to hold it down for now, but we'll talk to you shortly.
Jen, I think the thing that I noticed the most was we have the room where we all get ready for the show, and I walked in and I was the only person in that room. That was the most noticeable moment for me, but I am glad that I got a chance to see all of you this morning, and we'll keep checking in with you throughout the rest of our show. Of course, 7:09 this morning, and the spread of COVID-19 continues to bring a massive spread of disinformation online. Our Verify team is working around the clock to break down some of the biggest claims and rumors.
This coronavirus is a serious matter. We're focused on facts, not fear. And part of that is getting you the truth about the viral claims and rumors that are circling online. Did you see the text about President Trump using the Stafford Act to declare a mandatory quarantine? They're false. The president already invoked the Stafford Act. last week. It only really deals with FEMA and providing assistance. It does not give explicit power to the president to quarantine the country. Congressional research reports showed that the Stafford Act is actually used an average of 30 times every year, and on top of all of that, the National Security Council said the messages were fake. Then there's this image that went viral this week, that the virus lives in the throat, and if you gargle warm water with salt or vinegar, it will eliminate the coronavirus. Let's hear from Dr. Larry William Chang from the Johns Hopkins University.
When you're drinking water, you're not going to wash away virus, which may have already gone inside your cells.
Claim false. It might soothe your throat, but it's not going to help stop the virus. Now to some graphs that have popped up almost daily. They compare the coronavirus cases in the US to those in Italy. It seems to show that we're on the same path, which is bad. Italy has the second most cases worldwide. Is it true? Not exactly. The chart needs a lot of context to be a fair comparison. Italy has about 62 million people to our 329 million, and they live closer together. Italy's about the size of Arizona with 8 times the population. So the numbers in the chart are accurate, but the comparison is taken out of context because it doesn't take into consideration population or size. Last, scams about getting your government check. Emails asking for personal information, and Facebook posts asking you to click a sketchy link to find out more. These are both false. How do we know? Well, the FTC made it clear that there are tactics the government will never use. 1, they'll never ask you to pay anything up front, and 2, they'll never ask for your social security or bank account numbers. There will likely be more scams like this out there, so keep the FTC guidelines in mind, and if you're ever wondering if a post is legit, send us an email and we'll check it out. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Jason, thank you very much. 7-Eleven this morning, and we want to continue this morning separating fact from fiction by clearing up some confusion surrounding an alert that employees working at a U.S. bank in Coeur d'Alene received. On Saturday, several U.S. bank employees reached out to KREM with concerns about an alert notifying them that several employees at the Coeur d'Alene U.S. Bank Service Call Center were diagnosed with the coronavirus. So we began asking questions. Here's what we found. Take a look at this post. It's an email sent to us by U.S. Bank saying there are several employees who tested positive for COVID-19. Now, it turns out no employees actually tested positive. The alert says this message is to notify you that several U.S. Bank employees at the Coeur d'Alene Service Center were medically diagnosed with COVID-19. A diagnosed employee was last in the building on March 19, 2020, and all diagnosed employees are being advised to self-isolate. So when we began asking questions to Panhandle Health District, they told us no one who tested positive for the virus has any connections to U.S. Bank. So we brought that back to a company spokesperson who then clarified what they actually meant in that initial email. They said, quote, "Our reference to medically diagnosed was due to the fact that a doctor had diagnosed the employee's symptoms as consistent with COVID-19 and ordered the COVID-19 test." So just to clarify, no, there are no employees at the call center who have been officially diagnosed with COVID-19. So if the health district says, they would obviously be notified. U.S. Bank's poor word choice might have been a mistake, but it did cause a bit of a frenzy for hundreds of employees. And our goal, of course, here on Up with KREM is to separate fact from fiction. We'll be right back after a short break.